Hello, friends and clients of JLW Immigration Law Group. I am Jennifer Walker-Gates. I am a board-certified immigration attorney based in Austin, Texas, although today I am not in Austin. I am actually in San Jose, Costa Rica, coming to y'all from my beautiful hotel room with this beautiful piece of art behind me. Well, you can't see all of it. That's unfortunate. I'll show it to the audience really quickly. But I am so grateful to have y'all here with me today. I am a veteran attorney. I have been practicing immigration law for 18 years as a licensed attorney in Texas. And taxes are something that we see all the time. And so I'm so grateful to have both of you here to talk to our clients and our friends about taxes and what is important for them to know and understand about tax filings. So I'm going to ask y'all to please introduce yourselves and give us a little bit of background about yourself personally, your professional background, and kind of what you do for clients. So Erick, can you go first?
Sure, yeah. So my name is Erick. I serve as one of our bilingual outreach coordinators for Foundation Communities. So my main focus is to spread awareness of our programs and services, reach out to community members, community partners, in order to bring awareness, again, of our free programs and services.
Beautiful. Let me back up a little bit and say that what I know about Foundation Communities, and y'all can chime in and add to that, because this is such an incredible resource that we have in Central Texas. My experience with Foundation Communities is that it is a really broad-based organization that provides a bunch of different services to individuals and families who are either low income or kind of even up to moderate income, including housing, education, support with kids, activities with kids, healthcare enrollment, benefits enrollment, and the Prosper Centers, which are key to what we're talking about today, where y'all provide a lot of financial services to individuals who might not be able to pay the hefty fees that a lot of times are required for those from private providers. Is that a fair kind of summary of what Foundation Communities is and what they do?
Yeah, for sure. So I think it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly what Foundation Communities does because we do so much. We do help enroll people in health insurance. We do have a financial wellness program that helps with increasing financial literacy in the community. We have a College Hub program as well, which helps students who are currently in high school seeking higher education reach their goals. So we do a lot for the community, and so I'm really proud to be a part of this organization.
Yeah, it's such a great organization. I'm so impressed with what I see from y'all's work, especially with the taxes. Like, we refer our clients over there all the time, and so I'm really grateful for that. Gabriela, can you tell us a little bit about your role with the Foundation Communities and your background as well?
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you for having us here. So my name is Gabriela Morty. I go by Gabby. I have been with the Foundation Communities for a little bit over 2 years now. Work under the Prosper Tax Help program. So Texas, this is my time where I'm very excited to talk to the community about free filing, what tax credits they're potentially eligible, how much money they could potentially get by filing taxes, and try to clarify some of those myths and confusing parts about what they can get back just by simply filing free. So this is my favorite part of the year, where we're actively out there in the community, educating staff, of community partners, clients, speaking to diverse families and say, hey, stop paying so much money out of pocket, file, and claim all the money you could potentially get to help boost your financial household.
Yes. I'm going to stop and give a shout out to my pal Sumnakai. Nice to see you, Sumnakai. Hola, bueno verlo otra vez. Es importante mencionar que sí hablamos español todos en este video hablamos español y estamos todos dispuestos de responder en español, repetir información en español. Nada más, mándanos una notita en el chat si prefieren español, si quisieran que repetimos algo en español, no hay ningún problema. I remember, Gabriela, going back, I think it was maybe 15 or even more than that years ago when I first learned about foundation communities. And at that time, they didn't have the Prosper Centers kind of as a separate project. It was Foundation Communities itself that was providing the tax services. And they had a running total calculation of how much money they had helped clients recover in tax returns just by the, working with them on the filing. Do y'all still have that information, or do you have any idea at all of what kind of impact you are having with respect to helping people get money returned to them that they are owed by the federal government?
We do, and you put me on the spot, so I don't have that number, but we did reach just a huge milestone this year. And if you give me a second, I can pull up that impact statement, just the numbers just to draw attention to how much money we've helped secure to the local families in the area. But we do have it.
No, I tell you what, why don't we jump into Erick's presentation, and then after he's done, we can come back to you and you can share that with us. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, wonderful. Erick, if you're ready, I would love to hand this off to you and let you take it away and share with us the information that you have to share. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'm going to mute myself.
Share my screen. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Awesome. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for having us, the JLW Law Group. It's a pleasure to be here today with you guys. As I mentioned, my name is Erick. I'm the one of the outreach coordinators here for Foundation Communities. And then afterwards, Gabby, our senior project manager with the Tax Help Program, will go ahead and answer a few questions, either from the community or from Jennifer. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
So let me just pause really quickly for a technical break. I'm so sorry, Erick. I just want to make sure that our audience is able to see the important information that you have to share.
Okay.
I am not able to see the screen. There it goes. I think it's pulling up now. It just needed a second. Okay, you take it away, Erick.
Okay, yeah, awesome. Okay, so first of all, we'd like to go over a little bit about what Foundation Communities is, our Prosper Centers, the work that we do, and then we'll cover a little bit of tax information during the slideshow portion, as well as ultimately how we can help you get your taxes done for free. So the Prosper Center, so Foundation Communities is a local nonprofit here in Austin. We've been serving the Austin community for roughly 30 years now, and Foundation Communities mainly focuses on tackling the affordable housing issue here in Austin, but they do have what's known as the Prosper Centers. Now, the Prosper Center's mission is to build pathways to financial wellness, higher education, and health coverage, so that those who face barriers have opportunities to meet their goals. So here on the right-hand side, it kind of showcases the Prosper Center's programs. So we have a financial wellness program. As we had just introduced earlier, the financial wellness program offers free one-on-one financial coaching. They help people build credit, so applying for credit cards, applying for loans. They also help create a budget for people who need help creating a budget, and they also help people reduce debt. And then we also have a tax help program, so we'll go over that here shortly. As I mentioned, we also have a college hub program. What they do is they help people apply for scholarships, apply for financial aid, whether that's FAFSA or TAFSA. They also help with college applications, and then they also help students during their college years succeed in school. We also have a health coverage program, as you had mentioned, Jennifer. Our health coverage program currently helps uninsured people find health insurance, whether that's through the federal health insurance marketplace or referring them to other local programs, maybe county-based programs like here in Austin, like MAP or Project Access. So all of our services are free to families and individuals who meet our eligibility requirements. So you may be wondering, what are those eligibility requirements? So we're able to work with individuals who earn up to $60,000 per year. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to make $60,000 per year. That means that you have to make $60,000 per year or less. So we're able to work with individuals who make up to $60,000 per year. Now, for households of 2 to 4, they have to make $85,000 or less in order to receive our services. And then if you're in a household greater than 4, for example, in a household of 5 or 6, the income eligibility increases by $5,000 for each additional family member. So for that household of 5, the new income limit would be making less than $90,000. And then for that household of 6, the new income limit would be $95,000, and so on. So as I had mentioned earlier, we do want to discuss a little bit of tax information during the slideshow portion. So we wanted to go over who should file, or why it's important to file taxes in the first place. So number one, there is that tax filing requirement. If you have met the income threshold in order to have to file taxes, then you are required to file your taxes. Obviously, it's super important to file your taxes because you can claim your tax refund. Filing your taxes is the only way to get the money back that you deserve by having been employed throughout the year. Filing taxes is the only way to also receive your tax credits. And then also, it's really, really important to file your taxes because it can help with future immigration proceedings. So just keep all those things in mind as you're trying to decide whether or not you should file your taxes. Okay, so next up, who is required to file a 2022 tax return? So if you're single and earned more than $12,950, you are required to file your taxes for the year 2022. If you're considered head of household and have earned more than $19,400, you're also required to file your taxes for 2022. And if you're married filing jointly and both you and your spouse combined have earned a total of $25,900 or more, you guys are also required to file taxes for 2022. So again, just keep this information in mind as you're trying to decide whether or not you should file your taxes for 2022. And here, this slide just showcases a little bit of information about AARP. So Foundation Communities has recently received a grant from AARP. And so we want to mention that you shouldn't miss out on these benefits if you're an older adult. So older adults who did not file their taxes for 2021 are also eligible to file and claim the expanded 2021 EITC amount, which is up to $1,500. Foundation Communities is proud to partner with the AARP Foundation, an affiliated charity of AARP, to help older adults access tax credits that may be missing. So if you want to learn a little bit more about AARP, you can go ahead and there's a link down at the bottom of the slide, aarpfoundation.org, and you can receive more information from there.
That's great, Eric. And so just to quickly interrupt, you said that to qualify for the AARP program, you need to be 65 years or older. Is that right?
Gabby, I believe the age requirement is 50 years or older. Is that correct?
Yes,
oh,
correct.
Wow, I already qualified.
So yeah, we're trying to reach anyone who's over 50 years of age. Say, hey, you also might be eligible for that expanded amount of 2021, the EITC amount. Don't miss out, in addition to whatever you can claim this year for filing your taxes.
Yes, that's awesome to know. Thank you so much. I have so many people in mind to notify about that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay. And so we'd like to go over, again, how our organization can help. So how can Foundation Communities help? Well, number one, we do have what's known as the Prosper Tax Help Program. They help prepare and file tax returns for current and previous years. So we're not just helping people with their tax returns for 2022, but also previous years, 2021, 2020, 2019, and so on. We also help with ITIN applications and renewals. So for people who need to file taxes but may not have a social security number, they would need an ITIN. If that's the case, they can contact us and we would be able to help them out with the application process. ITINs do need to be regularly renewed. And so if you're in that situation where you need to renew an ITIN, you can also contact us and we'd be glad to help you out. We also do help with tax amendments and responding to the IRS. So if you do receive a letter from the IRS and you're not sure what to do or who to contact, again, you can contact us and we'd be definitely glad to help you out with your next steps. And then link down here below is our website, prospertaxhelp.org, if you would like more information. And so a little bit of information about our Prosper Tax Help program. We offer free, high-quality tax prep services. Our team is full of IRS certified tax preparers. So whether you're working with a staff member or a volunteer, each person in the tax preparation process has to be IRS certified. So you know that we're a trusted source to make sure that everything is going correctly. Our staff is also bilingual. So most of our staff speaks English and Spanish. And then for people who may speak another language outside of English and Spanish, we do have what's known as Language Line. It's an interpretation service that allows us to work with anybody regardless of their preferred language. And the tax season does end April 18th. However, we do operate year-round with 2 main locations in North and South Austin. And then lastly, we've been a trusted resource for tax preparation for more than 19 years. Each year, thousands of people come to us to get their taxes done completely for free. There's no cost associated with setting up the appointment, and we don't ask for a portion of your refund. So we believe that we provide a great resource to the community, and it helps many, many families save a couple $100s each year with tax preparation services. Here's a little bit of information for people who are here in Austin or in the surrounding area. So as I mentioned, the tax season does end April 18th. So that's the last day to set up an appointment with us during the 2023 tax season. However, I did want to bring up the map here. We do have 5 locations that you can go to get your taxes done. So we have 3 locations here in Austin, and then 2 locations closer to Round Rock at the Wells Branch Recreation Center and Round Rock Serving Center. The 3 locations here in Austin would be the Prosper Center North, which is located off of Airport Boulevard. And then down at South, we have the Southeast Health and Wellness Center, which is located off of Montopolis. And then our Prosper Center South, which is located on I-35 Frontage Road. So multiple locations that you can go to get your taxes done with us. So just keep that in mind. We have multiple locations for a reason, and it's bring convenience to you guys. That way, this process can be as simple and easy for families and individuals who want to get their taxes done for free.
Erick, do you mind if I interrupt you one more time?
Sure.
Where do y'all serve people who live anywhere, or do they have to live in a certain geographic area in order to qualify for the services?
So we're able to help anybody within Central Texas. Gabby, if you don't mind chiming in, I want to make sure that's correct.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so we don't have geographic limitations. So we will serve anyone who's willing to travel as far down from San Antonio. We do have clients who come visit us every year from San Antonio, Waco. If you're willing to travel to us, we will help you with in-person tax filing. So the income limit is the only caveat or the only reason why we might not be able to assist you, but we will always refer out, if that's the situation, to a creditable tax preparer option. We also provide online filing for those who might live in Waco but really want to continue or want to use our services. We have an online platform that we took on and built out, especially during the pandemic. So we try that and we're like, let's continue doing that. So there are options.
Fantastic. And is that true even for out of state?
Even out of state. There is that caveat that if you are living in a state where you have to pay state income tax, that's another thing we can do. But it's a specific group, a special group within our tax team that does those out of state. But we'll do out of states. Maybe you lived at the beginning of the year in California or another state that actually has a state tax income. We'll do that and then help you do the one that for the federal, for your current state, Texas. So we'll do a little bit of everything.
Wow. I'm so excited. That's so wonderful.
For sure. And the last thing I wanted to mention about this slide in particular is it does say here that the last day to set up an appointment with us is April 18th. But I do want to let people know that if you are interested in setting up an appointment with us, you're most likely not going to find any availability within the last couple of days of the tax season. Our appointments do fill up quickly. So if you are someone who's interested in getting an appointment with us, I would definitely recommend at the latest trying to find availability by early April. So just keep that in mind. Please do not wait until the last minute to file your taxes with us. Okay. So I do want to mention that we do offer in-person tax preparation, and how you can set up an appointment with us, you can visit our website, prospertaxhelp.org, or you can call 211 and let them know that you'd like to get your taxes done with Foundation Communities. I did want to mention for people who are not within Central Texas and want to find a program similar to Foundation Communities, you can use the link that's in the second or in the middle here, irs.treasury.gov/free tax prep. Foundation Communities is technically a VITA program. And so there are multiple VITA programs in metropolitan cities across the US. And so if you're someone who's tuning in from a different state or maybe a different part of Texas and you're trying to find a program similar to Foundation Communities, you can use this link here and you would be able to find a program similar to Foundation Communities. And then lastly, if you're someone who doesn't want to receive help from another organization to get your taxes done and you would prefer to self-prepare, we definitely recommend myfreetaxes.com. It's the most easiest and convenient way to get your taxes done online.
Such helpful information. Thank you so much. I'm going to interrupt you again, and I'm going to say in English and in Spanish, if any of our viewers has a question or a comment or anything you would like to ask after Erick's presentation, we will be doing Q&A. So please drop those questions into the chat and we will get to them as we can after the presentation. So otra vez en español, si tiene alguna pregunta, algún comentario que quisiera que respondemos, por favor, mete sus preguntas en el chat y con gusto responderemos después de que Erick termina su presentación. So that information about the VITA programs is so helpful. Thank you, Erick, for sharing that.
Of course. Okay, and here's the same information, but in Spanish for any Spanish speakers who are viewing. So just keep that in mind. Okay, awesome. So we do help with ITINs, as we mentioned before. So you might be wondering, what is an ITIN? An ITIN is a number issued by the IRS for tax filing purposes only. An ITIN does not authorize work in the United States, does not provide eligibility for Social Security benefits, and it does not qualify dependent for the earned income tax credit purposes. So just keep that in mind. And again, ITINs do need to be regularly renewed. So here on the right-hand side, we do show which ITINs do need to be renewed. ITINs with middle digits 70 to 80 have to be renewed. ITINs with middle digits of 90, 91, 92, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, or 99 that were assigned before 2013 also need to be renewed. And then ITINs not used in a tax return within the past 3 years also have to be renewed. So again, if you're someone who does have an ITIN, keep in mind that they do need to be renewed regularly. And again, we can help you out with that process. And so ITIN application and renewal process with us, basically what we would ask you to do first is complete a tax return with us. So we would want you to set up a tax return appointment with us. We would help you get your tax return, or we would help you with the tax return process. Afterwards, we would refer you to our internal, we would refer you to our IRS acceptance agent. And then afterwards, they would go ahead and contact you directly for a separate appointment. And then during that separate appointment, you would go ahead and start with the ITIN processing team to complete any sort of paperwork that needs to be done to get your ITIN or renew your ITIN. And then lastly, I do want to mention that mixed status families are eligible for common tax credits. So many people who have ITINs believe that they might not qualify for certain tax credits because of the fact that they have an ITIN, but I do want to let people know that that's simply not true. ITIN holders can still qualify for multiple types of tax credits, such as the child tax credit, the child and dependent care credit, and economic impact payments or the stimulus checks. So just keep that in mind. Don't feel discouraged about doing your taxes if you hold an ITIN. You can still qualify for many credits that can end up either decreasing the amount of money that you owe to the IRS or increasing your tax return, the money that goes to your pocket. And if you guys have any questions for me, you can definitely contact me at outreach@foundcom.org, Or if you have any questions specific about the Prosper Tax Help program, you can call 737-717-4000 or visit us online at prospertaxhelp.org.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Erick. Really, really fantastic information. I'm hoping I can convince y'all to share a copy of these slides with me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I would love to be able to, provide a link to people and get that information shared out. So at this point, I would love to go into some Q&A. I know that we have a couple of questions that have come through. Can y'all help someone amend their income taxes? Sandra asks.
Yes, we can. That is one of our favorite things to do. Maybe you talk to someone and you realize, oh, I did not get that credit, or I might have made a mistake, or someone helped me in, or I self-prepared and might have made a mistake. We can definitely look at your last year's or previous return, provide some education, and help you submit correct those previous year tax returns. So yes.
Fantastic. That's great. Sandra, if you need to amend your taxes, they can help you.
Oh, and the one thing I want to add, Sandra, I just want you to be aware that if you are filing a 2022 tax return and you're needing to amend a 2021 return because you realize you missed out on some credits, we do want to let you know that would be two separate appointments, just because we have to look at the whole household, who was in the household that for each individual year. But we'll get it done right, and we'll make sure all your questions are answered.
I know that's true also because I have sent clients to y'all before who come to me and say, now I have this immigration case and I've been in the United States for 10 years and I've never filed taxes before. And we, sometimes they need as many as 10 years of taxes filed. Sometimes they just need maybe 2 or 3. And so when in a situation like that, let's say for the first 5 years they were here, they were paid completely in cash. Maybe that's a separate question, the cash payments, but back filing taxes after the fact is possible, is it not?
Correct. It is. And we will sit with you and take a look into what was your income, what type of job you did if you were paid cash, what is an allowable expense, what you items that you had to pay to be able to perform that job you performed, and we'll help you figure those pieces out to really prepare an accurate tax return.
Does the IRS penalize people for late filing?
There are some rules around that. It all depends on whether you owe taxes. There might be some penalty. Whether it could be that there's no penalty for filing afterwards. If you really comes down to the point like you did not owe taxes that year, you're filing later. That's fine. Then we will explain that. We will help you figure out those differences and explain what you can expect, so it's not a surprise if you receive a letter from an IRS. But they depends on case by case. Okay.
And if someone is in a particular year, let's say they're ill, and they don't earn enough to meet the minimum requirement for filing, is there any reason that you're aware of that they should still go ahead and file?
Yes, that's a great question. And that's part of what I do. There, especially for the last year, for the 2021 tax year, that's a big confusing part of the expended child tax credit, the earned income tax credit. As a response to the pandemic, to COVID-19, government made expansions and got rid of some of the requirements for some tax credits. And for example, the child tax credit, more than ever before, families were eligible to receive up to $3,600 per child without the need of having earned income. So that means families who live or have fixed income, Social Security, disability, and that's their only source of income, who usually do not have a filing requirement, that's the year that they should have just filed and said, hey, IRS, I'm here. This is my household. I have these many children. Please send me the money that is due to me as a response to the pandemic. So yes, there are reasons when families who don't have filing requirements should at least do a simple tax return, and we help with those and explain what that means.
Wonderful. I also, I get a lot of questions about, you touched on this when we talked about filing back taxes, but what if, I'm paid in cash and I don't have a W-2? Can I still file? Should I still file? And how do you help people navigate that question, Gabriela?
Yes. So, and my colleague Eric mentioned a little bit of like, if you have a filing requirement above a certain threshold, you should declare taxes, file taxes. But there is also, if you're self-employed or get paid cash, and the incomes through this payment exceeds or is more than $400, you still have a filing requirement. Like I said earlier, like we will look at what actual gross income, the total money received, whether it was cash, checks, digital payments, and we will compare with how much did you actually have to pay out of pocket to perform, for example, landscaping job. We will look at the gross income against the expenses that are allowable for your type of employment, the job you do. And then we will help you say, okay, this is your net income, the amount that you actually report. This year, we actually, and that could be a very lengthy process, I will say. Can we count mileage, commuting miles, miles between jobs? So that's a lot of work. So what we realize is that we need more time to assist clients who are self-employed or get paid in cash, figure all the ins and outs. So we created Get Ready Appointments, which is really helping you answer those questions, figure out what really can be claimed, can't be claimed, and providing you with tools for future years as well. All of that in anticipation, getting you ready for your actual tax preparation appointments. So we have Get Ready Appointments, and those are also available, and you can book that appointment on our prospertaxhub.org website.
Fantastic. So quisiera mencionar una vez más que si hablamos español, los tres aquí hablamos español y estamos dispuestos de responder en español o repetir información en español si ayudaría. So, no duden en preguntarnos algo en español si lo prefiere. Another question, this is taking a little bit of a left turn, but it's so important, especially for our family-based, mixed status families and family-based immigration clients, which is a question about head of household. And something that we see a lot with people coming in and their tax returns are done and they're married and they have children and they're filing for their spouse, but they've declared head of household on their tax returns. And that creates a little bit of a conflict for immigration because according to my understanding, if you're filing head of household, it means you're not actually living with your spouse. And so you may be single or you may be separated, but definitely not living with a spouse is or at least another wage earner in my understanding. And so I just want to talk a little bit about head of household. What does that term mean? And who should be filing and who should not be filing as head of household?
Yeah, definitely. So head of household is one of 5 possible filing statuses. A person's filing status impacts the bracket, how much income is actually taken into consideration to figure out the deduction that you're able to claim, how much allowance or limitations are in place for certain tax credits or deductions. So that filing status is very important. In order to file as head of household, there are 3 main requirements that you must meet. So you must meet first marital status. That means that you must be single, never married, divorced, widowed, or considered unmarried for tax purposes on the last day of for this year 2022. So you must be one of those. You must also meet the housing requirement. That means that you must have paid more than half of the cost of keeping your home for the year. You must also, in order to, and this is a big caveat, in order to file as head of household, you must have a qualifying person. So a qualifying person must have been living in your home for more than half of the year. And a qualifying person could be a child, stepchild, sibling, grandchild, nieces, nephews, etc. And this is the other thing, or a qualifying person could be a parent or a grandparent, even if they don't live with you, but who you are contributing or paying over 50% of your support. So this could be a parent or grandparent that lives in Mexico or in Canada. So even though they don't live with you, you are providing more than 50% of their financial support, and they don't have more than $4,400 for this 2022 tax period in their own income. But in order to be able to claim that parent or grandparent qualifying person, they must have either a valid social security number or an ITIN number.
Wow. Okay, that's really, really important. And so what you're saying is that someone who is actually married right now should not be filing as head of household. Is that a fair statement?
If they're married, live with their spouse, they should not be filing head of household. They should be filing as married, filing jointly. Correct.
Okay. And so,
mm-hmm.
And if they are separated from their spouse, is that allowed? Are they then allowed to file as head of household?
Depends on what takes in place. Like when was the last, did you live with your spouse the last 6 months of the year? If you didn't, you can file head of household, or maybe you did live with your spouse, but there might be a situation of abandonment or domestic abuse, and you cannot possibly reach out to that spouse and ask for their income. And at that point, you could be head of household. So we look at all those questions and things that might impact your filing status. So that's why our appointments are long, because we are asking everything that could potentially maximize a refund and file an accurate tax return.
And I want to emphasize one more time that sounds like a tremendous amount of work, and y'all are doing that without charge. Is that correct?
Correct. The IRS pays us to provide free, high quality, accurate tax preparation.
That is marvelous. So that's where the funds come from. And that is such a really a glimmer of hope for me, as someone who works a lot with the federal government in a system that often seems very cruel and very unfair. It is nice to hear that our federal government is actually doing something to help families and really facilitate the financial health of tax filers, even if they're not super wealthy.
Correct. Yes,
I have to hear that. Yeah. So take advantage of it, folks. Get over to Foundation Communities. I'd love to put the website back up again and share again where people can find y'all. Is there anything else that you would like to leave with our audience before we close for the day?
I would like to circle back to your question about the impact that we've had in the local community.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
To highlight how much potential filers can get back just by coming and filing for free. So last year, we were able to help more than 11,000 community members file their taxes for free and claim more than $24 million in refunds. And that's just last year. So think about $24 million back into our local communities, helping cover for basic household expenses, food, childcare options, bills. That's a huge impact. And on average, the average refund last year was $2,809, and that's above the national average. So we did slightly better because we're asking all those questions that might seem a little bit like intrusive, or maybe you're asking too much, but we are really truly trying to figure out what can we claim, how can we get you more of your money back, money that you have contributed to the economy, and even mixed that as household item holders. We want to make sure that you are contributing back, that you're getting back the money that you've contributed to the economy. So we are very passionate and love working with diverse communities and getting them all their money back.
Oh, that's so wonderful. That is really fantastic. Congratulations. I'm so grateful to have y'all as a resource in the Central Texas community. It is really exceptional from what I understand, talking to people who live elsewhere. It's really, y'all are doing just a fantastic job, as is Foundation Communities as a whole. And so let's just reiterate one more time how people can reach out to you, where they can find you to schedule an appointment to get their tax help for free tax filing.
Yeah, for sure. So again, the number to call would be 211. You would just let them know that you want to set up a tax appointment with Foundation Communities, and they'll be able to help out. If you want more information, besides just calling 211, you can visit our website at prospertaxhelp.org. You can also visit our website using foundcom.org. But if you're specifically wanting to set up a tax appointment with us, please visit prospertaxhelp.org.
And then
Beautiful.
I'll add on to that in Spanish. Si necesitan ayuda para programar una cita o quieren más información de nuestros servicios o las ubicaciones de nuestros centros de este año, pueden ir a ayuda de impuestos austin.org, que es la página web en español, o como dijo mi colega Erick, pueden marcar al 211 para información sobre nuestras ubicaciones y programar una cita y preparar sus impuestos completamente gratis este año. No pague más por esa asistencia, no pague los $250, $500. Vengan y permítanos que le ayudemos nosotros por gratis.
Sí, sí. De hecho, una cosita más es que lo que hemos visto es que a veces hay poquito de conflicto de interés en para las personas que están basando su pago para sus servicios en la cantidad del reembolso, y a veces están metiendo a declaraciones de impuestos que no son definitivamente correctas, no son completamente correctas, para que pueden recibir el máximo del reembolso, que entiendo, pero es que luego causa problemas para migración también si los impuestos no están correctos, y además el IRS le puede dar penalidad si descubren que han hecho sus impuestos incorrectamente.
Correcto. Muchas gracias por esa información. Sí, al final del día, la persona que está en el nombre de la declaración es la persona responsable por alguna declaración que se hizo incorrecta, que hay que evitar problemas. Haga su declaración correcta.
For that reason, I have appreciated y'all so much. We've never seen any, those kinds of issues just don't happen when our clients are using your services. The taxes are done correctly. Your staff seems extremely well trained, very high integrity. I'm always very pleased and very comfortable referring people your way, and I so appreciate that. So for anyone in a position to make a donation to Foundation Communities, we can do that right on the webpage, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's right at the very top. I know that we at Walker Gates Vela at JLW Immigration Law Group, sorry, we've just changed our name. At JLW, we will be making a donation. So, and for any clients who need immigration help, it is our greatest joy to help immigrants gain legal status in the United States, reunite their families, become U.S. citizens. Please contact us at jlw.law. Schedule an appointment with us. Let us assess your case. Our attorneys have more than 70 years of experience between us. I have 18 years and I'm board certified myself, but my other attorneys at the firm are also fantastic. And we welcome any immigrant who needs help with their immigration case to reach out. And we will do our best to help you with your immigration case and send you to Foundation Communities, Prosper Centers, for your tax needs and your financial needs. So again, thank you so much, Gabby and Eric. I so appreciate you being here. And with that, I think we can sign off, and hopefully y'all will have a great week. Let us know of anything we can do to help support your mission over there as well.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, JLW Law Group. I appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, guys. Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.